And you can hear this is modal. This is from her detuning, but this is a rock band's version, translation of her detuning. It has a lot of that Mixolydian too, the happy, sweet, and sour between total happy to total sad. So why is this a definitive version?
It was rock, and I think it had a, a reach beyond the folk realm and such. I mean, I consider Joni's version the the version for me, but I understand why this would have appealed to the masses on a greater level because it was more of a vibrancy to it, whereas Joni's version was kind of hypnotic and ethereal. And this version, more people could latch onto it and basically sing along with it in a
Well,
way that they might not have been able to do with Joni's because of how she handled the hook.
well, she personalizes it,
Yeah,
and they do it as a group, so it's easier for people to sing along with the group than a personal rendition.
right.
Yes,
It's upbeat, it's danceable.
yes. It's also
Exactly.
it's also what was played at Woodstock. So it
Yes.
is the classic rendition of it. I like both of them in completely different ways.
Right. Me too.
So by the time we get here, we're a long way from the 50s.
Yeah.
It's this group that the late the
Yeah.
65 to 70 really was a big evolution in music with totally different sounds, different scales, different instruments. They even said something about Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They had sort of a raga influence. Well, of course, who was the original rock band that did raga influence? The Beatles.
Beatles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had several songs that had uh, uh, the raga scales and the tonality. Uh, and
I think too that after 1964, there was a lot that was changing in this country. There was the Civil Rights Act. There were the peace, the marches, the civil rights marches, the blowback from racists, and then you had by 65, you were starting to see an uptick of activity at a faster pace of the Vietnam War. And so by the time we hit 66 and 67, it became a full blown revolution. Uh, Basically, this is not okay. We are not okay with this. And people started, that's when I think, the real return to what folk music originally was, talking about, because if you go back to a lot of the folk music from Ireland and Scotland, uh, early on, you're talking like 17th century and stuff. A lot of it was about the injustices from the crown, and what they were imposing on the Scots and the Irish and such. So a lot of it was very political and such. And so I think that happens in society wherever you are, when these injustices and such heap on and heap on. There is an artistic rebellion that then fuels the societal rebellion. And when people say, "Oh, shut up about your politics, just sing," they are completely negating the fact that music and art are exceptionally political when you look at history. That many of the changes that are made for the better of the society happened because, not in spite of, the creative element bringing to light and popularizing the better ideals.
No, I totally agree. And I at UCLA got tired of all the classical music that was trying. They were trying to have me write. It was all too dissonant and 12 tone. And uh, I needed to get back to some semblance of humanity. So I hung out in the folklore department. And I took several courses in folklore and folk music. And folk music, especially the Anglo and the Scotch Irish ballads, a lot of them were broadsides. They were the newspaper of the time. And that was their function. People got their news from songs because they didn't have newspapers at that time.
The traveling barge, they would go.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did Bob Dylan try to extend? What did so many of the folk singers in the 60s try to say? They became the bards. They became the newspapers, and they became the message. And here, even this year, there's Springsteen doing his thing about the Minnesota people. I wrote a Minnesota song too, but he beat me to it. I think he had a little more connections than I did.
There's a wonderful young artist named Jesse Wells.
Yes.
A prolific man. That kid churns out stuff like you wouldn't believe, and it's all good, you know. And he doesn't just stick to one subject or one person that that he's skewing with his songs. I mean, he's such a huge breath of fresh air, and not backed by anybody major. He just started putting stuff on the internet, started making his own albums, started collecting, people's emails and such, and he ended up with like 4 Grammy noms, last year.
Well, this has been a real turnaround from what we were investigating. We're going to continue this next week. I'm going to look into the ladies who really set up a lot of the folk music and yeah, Gail, send me some stuff. Maybe I can go through it.
I will.
Research. So then I will see you guys next week. I'm so glad you showed up. And yes, I'll take the medication I need to keep me going.
Yeah, get all the way well.
I should be here. I'm feeling energized. A week ago, I couldn't have done this. I would have been
Good.
Don't overdo. Let yourself get your rest.
Yes.
And take care of yourself, because we don't want you going anywhere.
No, I don't want to go anywhere either, except the next meeting. I look forward to it. I'm so glad you guys were here. I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, everybody, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.